Musical biopics. Who doesn't love them? For years, these films have entertained and delighted audiences, featuring recognizable pop culture figures portrayed in groundbreaking and complex performances, complemented by fantastical musical sequences featuring the subject's hit songs. They performed quite well at the box office, and have even garnered awards consideration in a few instances. However, the risk of quickly releasing such a film in the last few years has led to the oversaturation of this type of film among the movie-going public. Audiences are hesitant to approach any new offerings inside the genre, as they're often seen as repetitive on the successes of the first few pioneers of this film area, and don't often warn enough to exist on their own. As a result, the rush to see these types of films as of late at the theater has dropped off. It's just hard for audiences to care about or want to partake in the life of career in these music icons if they're lesser known or not as broad of a reach. This is the mindset many, including myself, brought to the film Better Man. As an American, I had never heard of Robbie Williams. Researching this biopic before watching it, I was somewhat confused to see a supposed pop culture icon that I had never heard of before. In fact, I wasn't alone. In the weeks and months before this movie's botched release, thousands of Instagram reels and TikToks flooded in of people questioning this film and Robbie Williams, particularly from the American point of view, as here was the subject of a major motion picture musical biopic that had supposedly sold out concerts in Europe, yet had never made a ripple of an impact here in the States. Oh, also add in the fact that Robbie Williams portrayed himself as a CGI ape in this film, and you have yourself a mismatched combination that seems destined to fail. And unfortunately, it seems that this is the path this movie is heading towards. Within days of its wide theatrical release, Paramount decided to pull the film from a wide release to a limited release, removing showtimes due to low interest and less than stellar box office numbers. I lucked out, however, as my city was still considered in that limited release. Knowing this might be the only chance I had to see this film on the big screen, I rushed over to the theater and sat down, preparing myself for, well, whatever it was I was about to experience. As someone who wasn't familiar with Robbie Williams or his career, I really didn't know how well I would fare with this. However, something magical happened. Within the first 10 minutes of the film, the movie managed to capture my attention full throttle and never let it go until the words directed by Michael Gracey popped up on the screen at the end. I walked out of the theater in silence. I drove home in silence. Here is a film that reinvents the musical biopic formula and structure in such a groundbreaking way. Here is a film that manages to tell such a poignant and affecting story following a modern-day musician that doesn't feel manipulative or overdone as other biopics. However, here's also a film that no one will care to check out or enjoy based on its abysmal marketing and low interest. This is why I'm framing this review differently. Within the next few minutes, I'm going to do everything in my power to convince you as a film critic to see this phenomenal film. I'm going to present 3 distinct areas in which this film succeeds and leave the rest to you. Now, I'm not getting paid or reimbursed in any way for this whatsoever. I'm a regular film critic sharing my love of the art form in the way I know best. All I'm asking is that if you're on the fence about this film at all, and whether you should go see it or not, take a few minutes and watch this. The first area this film succeeds in is telling the story of the superstar. Now, Robbie Williams wasn't always a renowned pop culture icon as he was in the end of the film and even in a modern day. He was once a small boy from Stoke-on-Trent, growing up in the 1980s. However, despite his small appearance, Robbie was born with a gift to entertain. To the delight and shock of his mother, father, and loving grandmother, Robbie proves time and time again throughout his childhood that he wants to make an impact in people's lives by brightening their day and showing them performance art that can make them forget their worries and troubles for a day. However, there also lies an interior motive to this as well. Robbie feels like he doesn't amount to anything within his own life. As he grows up, he worries about the impact he'll be able to make within his career and wonders if he'll grow up to be anything great. In this lies the true genius of the film, in which we were presented with the brutally honest portrayal of a modern-day superstar through such a unique lens. As mentioned, Williams is portrayed as a CGI ape for the entirety of the film, and such a choice might seem ill-suited and far-fetched at first. However, as the film progresses, you realize just how impactful such a portrayal is. Williams, much like a caged monkey taught to dance and sing for the delight of others, feels trapped inside his performances. He feels controlled and overwrought, faced with insurmountable obstacle and challenge along the way. Every moment in which he rises, we cheer him on, yet inside his downfall as he makes progressively more heartbreaking and wrenching choices, it becomes difficult to watch the actions that have framed the lives of so many pop stars of the past through the lens of it happening to an animalistic figure. In this way, both Williams and director Michael Gracey showcase a real humanitarian side to his character that belies the pop star tendencies that he also feels. Even if you aren't a fan of Robbie Williams walking into this movie, you'll walk out appreciating not just his career, but his story as well. In this way, Better Man succeeds in telling not just an entertaining and invigorating musical biopic story, but stands apart from most of the other offerings on the market by portraying such an affecting downfall for his character and his story. Another factor the film succeeds in is the story. At some point or another, we have all dreamed of fame. It might seem embarrassing to admit it, but it's true. We've all at some point or another wondered what it would be like to chase that unchaseable dream and succeed within a famous career. In this way, many of us can relate to a character like Robbie who so desperately wants to make a name for himself. However, we can also relate to the supporting characters who stand alongside him in this regard. In my interview a few months back with Rob Paulson, which you can find right here, he said, "People in showbiz often make that choice against the wishes of those who love us." Looking back on this quote within the context of the movie, this realization makes a staggering impact in relation not just to Robbie's story, but to anybody who pursues this dream as well. Along the way, he's supported by his family members and friends who cheer him on every step of the way, but also fear for him and so desperately want to help him as he begins to slip into a downward spiral. As he shrugs off their help and support, we as audiences see the emotional toll this has not just on him, but on those he loves as well. However, in a staggering and poignant moment, Robbie realizes just how important this help and support is, not just to his career, but to his person as well. He begins to understand how not just to accept love and support from others, but how to love and support himself as well. Looking back, we all wish we could erase something we've done in the past. However, we don't hold that capacity. What we can do to work through this, however, is to love and support the mess we were even back then, to embrace that mistake and grow from it. It's in this way that the film paints the life of Robbie as a growth experience, not just for himself, but for audiences as well. The third and final point I want to make inside this review is the style. Simply put, this is a musical, and director Michael Gracey is no stranger to making a visually stunning and vibrant musical experience, as he did with 2017's The Greatest Showman. Here, we're treated to a visual feast of vibrant color hues and effects that made my jaw drop in key moments throughout. The musical sequences are incredibly choreographed and blocked, including a scene with a one take that extends for an insane amount of time. The sound design and special effects also hold up, with the motion capture for Williams' monkey look operating on such a seamless and affecting level. The cinematography is stunning and stylized, with so much hyper-edited transition work and smooth movements, transporting viewers into this kinetic and vibrant world. If you care at all about seeing a cinematic spectacle that will leave you shell-shocked on a technical and visual level, this is the film for you. Watching this on the small screen will not do it justice. Go see it in theaters if you can. Overall, Better Man is a film that succeeds not just within the musical biopic genre, but within cinema as a whole. There is nothing like this movie out there, and there probably never will be again. It's something you have to see to believe for yourself, and the impact alone will leave you with so much to ponder and contemplate as the credits roll. It's such an incredible shame that this has been so overlooked in the grand scheme of this year. Audiences everywhere complain about the lack of wholly original cinematic experiences every year, yet when one such as this comes along with so much creative freedom and originality bursting at every seam, there's such a rush to pass it by due to unfamiliarity with the subject matter. We go to the movies not just to enjoy ourselves, but to learn as well. And from that standpoint, this film offers so much rich material. This, combined with Paramount's poor marketing efforts and the wide release pull from so many theaters, means a lot of you will probably not get to experience this film the way it was meant to be seen on the big screen. However, I will leave off my review with this. If you get to the opportunity to see this film in any capacity, take it immediately. Do not hesitate. Run to the theater showing it near you and settle in for something truly staggering. As someone with such a heartfelt appreciation for cinema, it can be such an overwhelming joy to see movies like this that feel so wholly fresh and original, while also landing in such an overwhelming regard. But it can also be discouraging to see a film like this pass straight by in the modern day landscape of the box office. For this reason, Better Man is not just a fantastic film that stands apart from the rest of the films like it with ease, but it's one of the better mainstream films to release in some time and wholeheartedly deserves a watch. That's why I'm giving Better Man a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this review on my channel. If you're new around here and you like the content you see, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below, like the video, and turn on push notifications. Also, leave comment suggestions down below for future video, essay, and review topics. With that being said, until next time, this is Mitchell signing off. Peace out.